If you'd told me 8 years ago I'd come to hate the job I love, I'd have called you crazy. Something broke in tech culture over the past few years, and with over 27 years in the industry, I just can't pretend anymore. Not that I enjoyed it, and not that any of it even makes sense. You know that saying, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life? That was literally me. Development wasn't a career, it was my life, and I loved it. I'd wake up and rush to the office to pick up where I'd left off the day before. Every day was a new challenge, a new problem to solve. We had the time and the space to do the best job possible. It's not that I don't look back and think, why did I do it that way? I do that for code I've written just a few months ago. Good code doesn't come from one person. It comes from a team of passionate individuals that dare to push each other to be better. That's what it used to be like. Tech always changed. That was the deal, and it worked so well. We went from backing up files on shared folders to proper source control. Instead of pulling a book off the shelf to check something, we now Google it. We no longer kill the production DB when we make a change because we've got lower environments to test that stuff in. These changes made us better, and unlike today's changes, they actually made sense. Fast forward to today and there are loads of changes designed to boost our productivity, but the logic just doesn't work in my head. I tried for the longest time to get on board and help push changes that would actually work. But the biggest thing that had changed was the relationships. It used to be we'd sit down, argue with each other, and push back until we found the sweet spot. That's how good software got built. But somewhere along the way, leaders started to fear ideas that weren't their own. Pushing each other broke down because we could no longer push up, only laterally, and even that's not what it used to be. Since we all got sent home for months in 2020, we lost the room. You might not like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The industry lost great things when we stopped being in the office together. I'm not saying 5 days a week, just 1 day a week for discussions and alignment would make such a difference for the better. Because right now you're trying to challenge someone's design over IM. You can't see their face, you can't read the room. So you second guess every message. Will this land wrong and piss Did I get the technical bit right so I don't have to go backwards and forwards? Have we got the right people on this? For the love of God, just spit it out. You end up spending 10 minutes before you even hit send. That's about 9 minutes 45 seconds longer than if you just shouted out across the office. Things land differently when we talk. We have the tone, we have the body language, and we have the intent. Writing is for code. Challenging requires much more. And as a result, our designs, our code, and even our products suffer. This is bad, but it's the tip of the iceberg. There are way bigger problems veiled beneath the surface. Beneath the surface, just like in the real world, the truth is no longer as important as the lies we tell ourselves. Telling a story of success and constantly faking recognition for a job done badly seems way more important than the brutal honesty that made tech work so well. People are so fed up with the tens of projects they're juggling. The agile workflow with a heavy waterfall overlay that snuffs at any reality of progress. The constant request to work later or on weekends to make some progress. Then there's the pivots, continuous 180s, because making small changes and see how they work just isn't the done thing anymore. Things have got so bad that management need to keep the lies coming so that people don't wake up to the reality. We can all feel it. Something isn't quite right. We brought this on ourselves. It's nice to take recognition even if it's false when the world around us is descending into chaos, but we should have just called a spade a spade. It's only when we admit we have a problem we can actually start to fix it. Devs used to work long hours, not because it was demanded, but because they got freedom in other areas. They had problems to solve and no one was pinging them every 30 minutes for a status update. The non-technical project management layer paralysis that is plaguing our industry is killing us. But that's the topic for a whole other video. Want to know what I really think? Let me know in the comments. The second lie is worse. The lie that leadership above you should only hear what they want to hear. I've sat in the room where the unspoken rule was clear. Don't tell the people above anything they won't want to hear. This is the biggest act of self-harm we can inflict on ourselves. We tell people at the top that things are ready when they simply aren't. And that pushes the pressure to boiling point because now that it's ready, people want to see it. Here's where things get a little bittersweet. I love working with the peers that I work with. Mentoring those more junior and the relationships I've built over the last 3 decades. But I'm awake now and it hurts. I really can't cope with how false we've become, or how the things done to boost our productivity are actually harming it. And the people on the floor are the ones getting blamed. I've been trying to make this work for over a year, while being extremely unhappy and feeling that I must be the problem. And I just can't pretend anymore. Not that this is normal or even healthy. I was left with one real hard option: to leave.